Our halftime guest tonight is George Karl, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. And let me ask you, what the heck's going on here? All of this media, it looks like the NBA Finals.
We have actually more media today than we had in the semifinal round of the Lakers series last year. Sherry White's going crazy, but you know, a good trade makes for good news.
In Houston, George, we just call it the trade. It was, of course, one of the largest deals ever made. You still happy with everything?
I really, after seeing it for a couple of weeks and seeing you all on film for the last few games, you're seeming like your team's playing extremely well. And I think it's a trade good for both franchises. I know we're excited, we're happy, and we feel we got a direction now, and we like Ralph, and we know now we got to build around him, and we've dedicated basically our season to that. As for y'all, you know, you're one step away from the championship. At least that's the way you feel, and you've made a move to gain a guy like Joe Barry who can put points on the board and be productive, similar to Ralph Sampson, and add a great point guard in Sleepy.
You know, you have to make that decision in any franchise whenever you want to build for the future or try to win it now. You obviously thought this franchise was not going in the proper direction. Now you got to convince the fans, are they behind you 100%?
Well, I think they are. We are now ahead of the greatest year ever in Warrior history from a standpoint of sales. If we continue at the rate we're going right now, we will break the record for most people coming in. Now, I think a lot of it has to be due for last year's expectations and the great year that we had with Sleepy and JB. But I think there's excitement. I know the fans that I run into, and maybe the ones who are negative don't want to talk to me, but the fans that I run into seem to be very positive.
George, let's check a couple of the other players that Houston fans familiar with. Steve Harris and Dave Feidel. How their progress coming?
Well, we've been playing Dave Feidel now the last couple games behind Ralph, and he's played well. He played extremely well in the Boston game, and then the last game we played not as well statistically, but still gave us some good things on the basketball court. As for Steve Harris, we were starting him for a while, and then we decided to give Otis Smith a shot, and Terry Teagle is our six-man type of guy coming off the bench, playing great right now, so we haven't been able to get him in. Steve Harris is in a situation where he's just going to have some patience. I think he's an NBA player. I think he's going to play in the NBA for many years. Hopefully we can find him a place here.
George, good luck to you. It takes a lot of patience. I can go back to early in this decade when the Rockets won only 14 games.
Well, I hope we don't have to go through that.
George Karl has been our guest at halftime, and we'll be back with the first half stats and the second half of play right after we take this break.